It's 2018, February 15th, 4 o'clock, 9 minutes. So that's 16. And here we look at the chart. The Bitcoin price is at 9,750. And as you can see, Bitcoin was dipping even further on. This is where I made my short long-term trade at 8,957. Now, unfortunately, I could have made a hefty profit when the price was down at 5,920. Unfortunately, I wasn't trading then, I wasn't looking, I wasn't recording it, and so I missed an opportunity to make a profit. What happened? The curve moved against me, and it's currently at 9,739. It even had the high of 9,977, and that puts me in the minus right here. So due to my inability to make a trade here, I'm losing money right here. So I'm taking the loss, and I'm going to buy. I think that finally Bitcoin should rebound, and hopefully it's gonna keep moving. It's gonna keep moving forward. The stop loss is going to be set at 8,000, and now it's 7,000 better. Most likely very unlikely, considering that it moved down so heavily. Obviously this could be just another correction, and it may as well move down even more. So that is not a good thing for the Bitcoin itself. However, for other stocks out there, it may be even worse too, because there are companies that are slowly focused on Bitcoin's price and so on and so forth. So that's where Bitcoin is currently. So that's a daily chart. A monthly chart should show up in a moment now. It looks like I am crashing right here. Very rarely does that happen. However, it does happen though, and it looks like that's the case. I'm just gonna try and turn on myself another TradingView stocks page, but it looks like that isn't happening either. So I'll just have to wait a little bit until my computer wakes up, and it looks like we're here. And what do we look at? We look at our trade there, already making profit. Overall, I'm down 24,895 units of money in my account balance. My equity is a little bit different. Let's take a look at the monthly chart. So here's the monthly chart. As you can see, Bitcoin was falling quite a bit from its main high. However, that isn't really that kind of strange, considering that it moved heavily for so long, so much. Going down a little bit should not be a massive difference anyway. Now, what else do we have here? And here's the match minute, and as you can see, they had massive downs here going through, All in all, it was going up for a little while here, and we can see a better perspective by going to 1 hour and seeing what's happening here. Look at that. All right. It looks like we can move even further past, see our previous trading sessions too, and just remember how Bitcoin looks like for the short term and where we currently are. So this is where Bitcoin finally rebounded after this trade falling. So that's the new support level, and hopefully this is the start for Bitcoin to move heavy upwards. What else do we have here? We have a weekly chart, so that's a little bit better representation of what's happening here after the high of 19,666 on Bitstamp. And it looks like I made my Bitstamp trade wrong. Unfortunately, I sometimes make a mistake there. I use Coinbase to make my long-term trades, and so based on what's happening here, I expect this is not a correction for it to go down. I expect this is the move upwards. So where I want Bitcoin go? I want Bitcoin go to $1 million per Bitcoin. Now in order for it to do that, it probably needs to move up to such incredible highs as nearly 20,000, then have a sharp move south to kind of stabilize itself so that people could take the profit, kind of make the price. I think it's all fake, right? Don't get me wrong. I think it's all manipulation, and it's just to make it look real, right? So if I want to make it look real and I want to go to 1 million, I would probably push it to 20,000. Then I would push it down to, let's say, 5,000, or in this case nearly 6,000, and I would start little by little make it climb more. Obviously the question is just how fast do I want it to go to 1 million. Probably in as little as 5 to maybe 10 years. And that's just the first thought, right? This is not based on anything really besides I want to get rich quick. That's it. Now my buy is 2 bitcoins, stop loss $7,000 or 7,000 units of money, but in this case it represents dollars because it's Bitcoin USD. And so it's hopefully going to move upwards. Let's now move to 1 minute and see what can we get from 1 minute on Bitstamp. I like the way it looks like on Bitstamp. On Bitstamp we don't have any of these flat ones right there. It looks like these are flat ones. And on Bitstamp we have mostly all. There's a few flat ones, but these are kind of a little volatile. As you can see, these are not volatile at all whatsoever, but these do move up and down. And the way I like to trade this, I'd like to try and get myself into one of these super trades. So I'm hoping for a, let's say, 10-minute move upwards. So I'm buying 1 Bitcoin and watching this. Now let's move on to Ripple. Where's Ripple? That's 1 minute. Let's move on to 1 hour and have this really kind of precise. Look, I think 1 hour is very precise. Obviously, the further deeper you go with time, the smaller time increment, the more precisely you see the ups and downs. For example, these were highs and lows that are kind of shown with a terrifying precision. If you zoom it out, you'll see that it's just 5 minutes. It's just absolutely incredible. Obviously, 1 hour is certainly good enough for somebody that's kind of investing, right? He wants to see how it all looked like, and it certainly looks good, real good. That's 1 day right here, and pretty much follows Bitcoin. Follows Bitcoin pretty good. Here's Bitcoin, and here's Ripple. Once again, Bitcoin, bam bam, Ripple, bam bam. Now let's move on to Ethereum. Ethereum, once again, similar like Bitcoin, is moving up, and as a Ripple is moving up after a recent down. So down, up, down, up. It looks like the code for these is very similar, at least at the current point in time. They are all being traded very similar. Now let's go to crypto currencies, and that's coinmarketcap.com. And in here, let's find out what's happening on the market. Do we see any new cryptocurrencies? I personally don't even recognize any of these besides Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin. I did heard about Dash, but don't know really much about it. I know Ethereum Classic. It's similar to Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash. However, I don't think that Ethereum has been forked off. I don't think Ethereum Classic has been forked off from Ethereum. I think they just created these two to kind of make more money. That's it, and it obviously works. There's 3 billion in it, or at least that's the market cap. And Bitcoin Gold, certainly. Here we can take a look at Bitcoin Gold. As you can see, it's not really kind of there, at least not just yet. It did reach the highs of 400, and it started with a hefty over 400. But it has its lows. It was down to as low as like 77 or so. So it's certainly not a big deal, considering that we have, for example, Bitcoin Cash. And Bitcoin Cash had its highs of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and its lows of 784, 320, 300, something like 200 at the very beginning. It felt like 208. I'm not sure what kind of exchange is this though, because it doesn't really say. But exchanges are very important, very important, and the exact pricing has to be only traded on the exchanges that those prices actually taking place. There's a Bitcoin forum at bitcointalk.org where people talk about Bitcoin. And here you can take a look at top 100 or top 200 bitcoins that are currently playing a big role in cryptocurrency world. So sometimes I refer Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency, but that's a mistake. Don't take it lightly. It shouldn't be like that. Sometimes you say, oh hey, look at those Bitcoins, right? I mean cryptocurrencies. And that's it for the Bitcoins here. Let's go on to the NASDAQ. And before we do that, I see that I'm already down. It seems that it would be a good opportunity for me to short it, so let's do just that. Yeah, that could be a nice way down because it was moving upwards quite a bit, so it could go south. I would certainly like to see that, no doubts about that. And here we are at NASDAQ, on the NASDAQ composite. That's 1 minute. Let's move on to 1 month. Now, as you have noticed, it did have a fall. Now, this fall happened from a massive and very steady move upwards that lasted nearly exactly 2 years, I would say. It started in 2016 February and it ended in 2018 February. So that's the thing, it's moving south. However, it has very nicely recovered. Let's now take a look a little bit deeper inside of this trade. So what happened? It looks like we had two downs. It goes down from 7,503 on TBC exchange to 6,124, then it moves up to 7,170, then south to 6,634, and then again up to 7,152 and more. Obviously that's the current price, 7,142. And that's it for NASDAQ composite. Let's move on to Euro USD now. That's a daily Euro USD, and this is the current move upwards. It looks like Euro is gaining value quite a bit for quite some time. It looks like soon, just not yet but soon, in just like 14 cents, Euro is going to be just where it was before the oil crash. Overall, it doesn't look bad, at all. And I wouldn't be surprised that it's going to reach a similar level of $38, $39, $40 before it moves down, or it may even reach the highs of the previous $1.60. What do I think? I think it eventually should reach the high levels of 140, 160 before it moves down, or the next scenario, it's just going to correct itself before it moves higher to like a 150, 160. However, it would not be surprising if after the oil crash the new level of stability is somewhere beneath 140. However, we'll only see that after this curve changes to south and we see if it just corrects itself south before it moves north, or or it just stays south, north-south without going through this very kind of important, I would say, resistance level important, because this is where all crash would be